Hey there, welcome back to the Daily. This is Adriana coming back to you for part two. If you weren't with us yesterday, don't worry, there's a link to revisit yesterday's practice. Just to give us a short little rundown, as I mentioned yesterday, in this trust rabbit hole that I've been in my own practice, also here with all of you at the Daily. We've been exploring trust together. I came across this really sort of useful acronym that was laid out by Brene Brown, which explores the anatomy of trust. What is it that we're actually talking about when we talk about trust? What are some of the actions or behaviors or qualities that help us to cultivate trust both in ourselves and others? And this acronym that she laid out is BRAVING, which I included a link in our emails to watch the talk that this came from. And BRAVING stands for B, boundaries, R, reliability, A, accountability, V, the vault, I, integrity, N, non-judgment, and G, which is generosity. And that's the one that I want to explore a little bit in our practice today, particularly bringing this sense of generosity of perspective to the people that we meet, ourselves included. The sense of I will be as generous as possible in my interpretation of you. So for today's practice, I want to bring back some of my favorite phrases in meditation practice because I think that these phrases that I'm going to offer us in practice today are a wonderful way of just giving ourselves the benefit of the doubt, particularly any thoughts or emotions that might arise in our meditation practice that we would classically sort of label as being disruptive or negative or difficult or unwanted, to again extend this sense of generosity to ourselves that, I'm cutting you the benefit of the doubt. Whatever is here for you, I believe it has worth and I believe that it has value. So we're going to do that. We're going to do that practice wherever you happen to be. Maybe just taking a moment to decide on your seat. And once we've found our seat in practice, maybe just giving our body a quick wiggle, making sure that we feel really sturdy and sustainable. We're not struggling against ourselves physically. And then taking a moment to locate our gaze. So eyes open or eyes closed. And if we're practicing with eyes open, it's letting the gaze be soft, hazy, unfocused. And if we're practicing with eyes closed, seeing if we can maintain this sense of being alert and awake, aware of our surroundings. And we'll take a few moments, as always, just to open our practice by opening our senses, locating ourselves here in space. Turning the attention over to sound. Just receiving the sound of the room that we're in. Staying open to sound, shifting the attention to touch. Just taking a moment to center ourselves in our bodies, the weight of the body against the chair, the cushion, that light pressure of making contact. Taking in the texture of clothing on our skin. Temperature of the air in the room. Dropping into the feet. Just feeling our feet here. Texture, temperature. Tracing the attention across the shin bones. Circling our kneecaps. Moving through the thighs. Landing in the hips. Feeling our sit bones against the cushion. Bringing the attention to the belly, the chest. Maybe just taking a moment here to give ourselves a brief temperature check. Noticing if there's anything that feels particularly active or alive here in the belly, the chest. Oftentimes the storehouse of emotion in the body. Just getting a sense of what we're bringing into practice, if anything. It's all grist for the mill. It's all workable. Continuing to rest here in the front body. It's beginning to establish that firm contact with the body breathing. It's feeling what it's like to breathe today. Similar but different than any other day. And wherever, however, the breath is most available in the body, most easily felt, it's dropping our anchor of attention here, home base, the place that we return to. And continuing into practice, it's using that singular instruction that as our minds wander, which they naturally will, it's noticing when we've left our breathing, acknowledging what captures our attention, and then gently, firmly coming back to the breath in the body. So right off the bat here, as we begin to relax into practice, it might be worth noticing if there are any points of tension, physical tension, mental tension, that we can bring a little softness to. Just a little touch or a little attitude. of releasing, and trusting that our practice will hold us, that we're safe here in the present moment. Noticing if even just bringing that attitude of trust, of softening, allows us to relax into our practice just a little bit more. Again, just this, feeling our body in space, breath inside the body, and allowing ourselves to be here. This is it. And in the spirit of generosity, giving ourselves the benefit of the doubt, the most generous possible take that we can give to ourselves in any situation. Whenever we notice ourselves landing on or latching on to something, it might be worth just offering ourselves these phrases. I see you. Thank you for the information. I love you. And back to the breath in the body. I see you. Thank you for the information. I love you. And again, back to the breath. And again, wherever we happen to find ourselves, whatever we happen to be swept up in, I see you. Thank you for the information. I love you. And feeling the body breathe. And again, wherever we happen to find ourselves, it's a light touch of recognition, a little bit of love, and the gentle redirect. Feeling our body in space, breath in the body, just allowing ourselves to be here. I see you. Thank you for the information. I love you. And back to the breath in the body. And then in our final few moments of practice, it's taking a moment to reconnect to what it is that brought you here. And that initial motivation, intention, reason, purpose, why yes. Doesn't have to be profound as long as it's honest. Closing out with a little bit of sweetness. Just extending some thanks to ourselves. Maybe giving ourselves a little bit of credit. And then as you're ready, just allowing formal practice to drop and coming back in together at your own pace, no rush. Great. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you for practice today. So a little bit of kind of basic shorthand for this practice. If you find yourself kind of abbreviating those phrases, thank you for the information, back to the breath in the body, it's just a place one hand on the heart, particularly if we notice that what it is that's coming up for us in practice is maybe a little bit more difficult or a little bit more conventionally defined as being, negative or unwanted. Again, we're just extending some generosity towards ourselves, the benefit of the doubt that no matter what it is we bring to the table, mentally, emotionally, energetically, it's not bad, it's not wrong. It's not what we're doing right now. We're coming back to the breath in the body, but thank you. Thank you for that information. Everything is valid. Everything is welcome here. So thank you. Thank you so much for practice. Thank you for being here. I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your day, and we will see you back on the cushion tomorrow.